9 men in American history earned this rank. He almost wasn't one of them. This is the true story of how a nobody became a 5-star general. But before the stars, there was a decision that nearly ended his career. Stick around, because Scene 40 changes everything you think you know about rank. It starts in a small American town, in a house with barely enough food. His father worked 3 jobs. His mother prayed every night he'd find a way out. At 18, he saw one path forward: the United States Army. He signed the papers with a shaking hand and a heart full of hope. Basic training broke most recruits in the first week. He refused to break. A drill sergeant screamed in his face. He stood tall and never blinked. On graduation day, he was the first in his family to wear the uniform. But a private's uniform was only step 1 of 9. The climb had just begun. To understand this climb, you need to know how Army ranks actually work. Private, the bottom rung. Every legend starts exactly here. His first assignment was cleaning latrines. He scrubbed like his future depended on it. It was there. A sergeant noticed something the other privates didn't have: discipline. 6 months later, he pinned on a single stripe: Private First Class. Then came the test that changes everything. Leading other men for the first time, he gave his first order. His voice cracked. Nobody laughed. Corporal came next. Now he wasn't just a soldier, he was a leader. But leadership meant responsibility. One mistake could cost a life. During a training exercise, he made a call that saved his unit. Command took notice. A captain pulled him aside. "Have you thought about officer candidate school?" That single conversation would change the entire course of his life. But first, he had to survive sergeant. And staff sergeant meant even bigger stakes. Sergeant meant training the next generation. He couldn't afford to fail them. He decided to apply for officer candidate school. The competition was brutal. Out of hundreds who applied, only a handful would be selected. His name was called. His mother's prayers had finally been answered. Officer candidate school was harder than anything he had faced before. Sleepless nights, endless exams. Many candidates quit within the first month. He stayed, not because it was easy, but because quitting wasn't an option. Graduation day, he pinned on gold bars. Second lieutenant. Now he commanded a platoon. 40 men's lives were in his hands. His first deployment orders arrived. He said goodbye to everything familiar. Overseas, he led his platoon through conditions no training could fully prepare him for. A mission went wrong. He made a split-second call that brought every man home. When he returned home, his commanding officers had already noticed his leadership. He was promoted to first lieutenant. Rank 6 of 9 was his. Here's the twist. Most officers never make it past this rank. Ever. To go higher, he needed more than good instincts. He needed a college degree. He studied at night while leading his unit by day. Exhaustion became routine. Years passed. He earned his degree and was promoted to Captain Tell. As captain, he commanded an entire company. Over 100 soldiers under him. But with more soldiers came more pressure. Every decision carried greater weight. He led his company through the most dangerous mission of his career. Every soldier came home safely. His reputation as a leader was cemented. A colonel personally recommended him for the Army's Command and General Staff College. This school was where future generals were made. Very few captains were chosen. He was one of them. Rank 7 of 9 was now within reach. At the college, he learned to think beyond the battlefield. Strategy became his weapon. He graduated near the top of his class. Promotion to major followed soon after. As a major, he became a battalion's chief strategist. Planning was now his mission. A crisis erupted overseas. His battalion was called to respond immediately. His strategic plan worked perfectly. The mission succeeded without a single casualty. Word of his success reached the Pentagon. Generals were now watching his career. He was promoted to lieutenant colonel. Rank 8 of 9 was within his grasp. As lieutenant colonel, he commanded an entire battalion of over 500 soldiers. He built a reputation as one of the sharpest tactical minds in the Army. Then came the promotion that changes everything. He was named full colonel. Colonel is the highest rank most soldiers will ever reach in a lifetime. But he wasn't finished. 2 ranks remained, and they required something rare. To become a general, the President of the United States must personally approve you. The Senate must also confirm every single general officer, no exceptions. His decades of service finally paid off. He was nominated for Brigadier General, 1 star. He had crossed the line only a tiny fraction of soldiers ever cross. As a general, he now advised on decisions affecting thousands of soldiers. He earned his 2nd star. Major General, rank 2 of the elite generals. He now oversaw an entire division. 15,000 soldiers answered to him. The pressure at this level was unlike anything he'd experienced. Every choice mattered globally. His judgment never wavered. Superiors began whispering about his potential for the very top. He was promoted to lieutenant general. 3 stars. Only a handful hold this rank. At 3 stars, he commanded an entire army corps across multiple countries. Only one rank remained. The rank almost no one in history ever reaches. 4-star general. In modern history, fewer than 1,000 men have ever worn it. As a 4-star general, he now sat among the highest military leaders in the country. He commanded an entire theater of operations. Hundreds of thousands of troops. The president personally called on him during a national crisis. His response was calm, calculated, and exactly what the moment required. The crisis was resolved. His name became known far beyond military circles. Now, the rarest rank in the entire United States military came into view: 5-star general. A rank normally reserved only for wartime. In over 200 years, only 9 men in history have ever held it. A national emergency demanded unprecedented military coordination across every branch. Congress convened an emergency session to consider his nomination. The vote passed. He would become only the 10th 5-star general in American history. The phone rang at 3 in the morning. It was the White House calling. He was needed at the ceremony immediately. History was about to be made. He arrived at a grand hall filled with dignitaries, generals, and his own family. His elderly mother sat in the front row. Tears were already in her eyes. He stepped onto the stage. The room fell completely silent. A senior official approached, holding a small case containing 5 silver stars. One by one, 5 stars were placed on his shoulder. The room erupted in applause. The boy who once had barely enough food now stood among America's greatest. He found his mother in the crowd. She mouthed the words, "I'm proud of you." From private to 5-star general, his journey took nearly 40 years. Every rank he earned came from one thing: discipline nobody could shake. His story proves rank isn't given, it's earned, one hard decision at a time. If this journey inspired you, there's one more story waiting for you right now. Subscribe for more stories like this, drop a comment, and hit like before you go.